One of Madison County's own recently got back from Africa doing missionary work and getting some hands-on medical experience. We got to speak with her to hear more about her experience and what she's going to do next. This is Jesus, Jenny, and the Jungle.
Visit the walk-in clinic at Mercy Primary Care of Irvine on Friday evenings and weekends with no appointment necessary. Walk-in care is open to the community no matter who your doctor is. For those times when it's not serious enough to go to the ER, but you feel too bad to wait until Monday, walk in to Mercy Primary Care of Irvine.
I'm Jenny York, and I'm originally from England. I lived there until I was 7, and my mum's from England, but my dad grew up in Madison County. He graduated from Central and went to EKU. And he was over in England working at an American military base as a teacher, but then when that closed, we moved back here. So I was 7, and I've grown up here and graduated from Central in 2015, and I'm a senior at Western Kentucky University, and I'm a nursing student. Back in high school, I was really involved in my youth group at First Baptist Church, and we took a mission trip during spring break my senior year, and we went to Jamaica, but not the beaches and everything. We were inland, helping in a village, building chicken coops for a church. And so since then, I've felt the call to missions. And so my first summer of university, in between my freshman and sophomore year, I was able to go to Mongolia for 6 weeks with ELIC, which is English Language Institute of China. And I was able to help teach and do summer camps with kids and that kind of thing. And then 2 years later, this summer, I went to Congo and did medical missions, which is what I was really interested in since my passion's for nursing. I was at a hospital called Pioneer Christian Hospital, and it's in Infondo, it's a degree and a half above the equator in Republic of Congo. So I was helping there. They don't have any doctors right now, so I was helping all the nurses, but it's still a functioning hospital. They do surgery and everything, so I was able to get a lot of experience and help with surgery and anesthesia, and then in the emergency department and maternity wards, doing prenatal visits and helping with labor and delivery. And then I also did some clinical work just in the community with Sarah, who's been a missionary there for over 30 years. And so I was doing a lot of work with leprosy. There's a leprosy clinic there, and helping patients with leprosy too. Well, there was one day that impacted me the most, I think, out of all my time there. And in the morning, I was helping in the emergency room. And over there, the emergency room is a really small room, and there's so many patients, so lots of times you're outside under the trees and stuff too. So people just bring in their kids on motorcycles and bikes and things like that. And that morning when I was over there, we just got done with morning report, and a father and his family brought in this really, really sick, like 3-year-old girl. And whenever I was helping there was another nurse who's there full time who I was working with, and we found that the child was unresponsive, and lots of times the families don't come to the hospital until it's like too late, and so she'd been sick for a really long time, but they just didn't have money for the medicine that she was needing, and by the time she got there, she was severely anemic, and we were trying to put in IVs and that kind of thing for like 20 minutes just anywhere, and there's 3 of us working on her. And over here with all the tools and stuff we have, you could easily start an IV even if it was through the bone or something, but over there with the tools we have, we didn't have any of that, and she was so dehydrated that it was like you could tell that she wasn't going to make it. And so about 20 minutes after she got there, she ended up passing away, which was the first time I'd never seen a patient pass away. I've been in nursing school for a year, but I've never experienced that. So that was really, really difficult. But then you have to just keep going. So the rest of the morning I was in the emergency room. And then that afternoon, I had someone from the maternity ward come and say that they had a lady who was in labor. And up to that point, I'd helped a lot with prenatal visits, but I'd always wanted to help with birth and that kind of thing. So I was able to help deliver a little girl. So it was amazing. Like in the morning, I'd seen a young child pass away, but then that afternoon I helped deliver a baby. It's just amazes me how little the money and things we have over here can impact and make such a big difference over there. I'm used to American hospitals where you have just rooms of medicines and all the supplies you need, and over there you reuse needles and reuse lots of things. And in surgery, lots of times you have the patient's families cleaning up the supplies, so they're the ones that do the laundry instead of sending it off to like a sterilization unit or factory or something like you do over here. And so they reuse everything they can. And the patients come in a lot sicker, I think, but it's different. Like over here, most of my patients I've had are dealing with like diabetes and that kind of thing, and I didn't see any of that over there, but leprosy is really, really common, and I didn't know that still existed. I'd read about it like in the Bible and stuff. It was through, it's called the Global Outreach Mission, so it's a missions group that I found when I was at a huge medical conference, like missions conference in Louisville last year. They have a website, the Global Outreach Mission, and they're in a few different countries, but at Pioneer Christian Hospital, they're in desperate need of anyone, like nurses, doctors, especially doctors, but even people. They have engineers going, they have electricians. There's a lot that needs to be done at the hospital just to keep it running and functioning, and letting the doctors and surgeons and stuff like have the resources they need to do what they want to do. So anyone who would even be possibly interested should go online to the website, and they're really helpful and help you with the visas and the whole process.
For more stories such as these, be sure to visit Richmond's very own WBONTV.com. I'm Marissa Hempel.